Law number 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Sometimes stepping away or becoming less available makes people value you more. Constant presence can make others take you for granted. Long story short, what this law is simplifying is the fact that when you remain distant from people, friends, family, other people, you're more valued. But why is this? Because if you're there for them all the time, they take you for granted. When you leave them for an extended amount of time, this could be months, this could be weeks, they're going to start realizing that your presence is valued. But why do they do this though? Because they know that you have skills that they can use to get ahead in life. Why is it that they take it for granted when you're away? Because of the fact that now they're noticing it in their little minds that this person was actually useful. But let's get straight into it. Self-improvement tips. As you guys know, I have notes right here, but you guys know I keep it real and I try to give you real life situations from my personal life to help your life out. Number 1, take time for yourself. Step back from social noise to focus on your goals. It builds self-respect and mental clarity. There's nothing wrong with being by yourself to try to figure out what you want to do. For me, it took a long time to figure out I wanted to do YouTube because I knew I had a gift when it came to being creative, but I was really, really shy when it came to talking publicly with people. It was really, really hard for me. But over time, as I recorded video again and again and again, I gained confidence in recording videos. But I wouldn't have known this if I'd stepped out away from people and remained myself distant. Because now I've learned the talent of working on cars by myself and not relying on people, for one. Number 2, speaking confidently on camera. The camera no longer keeps me shy. I can look at the camera and tell you guys, hey, I'm having an awesome day, and you don't develop these skills unless you're alone. Number 2, create mystery. You don't need to share everything. Keeping some things private increases your personal value. A good thing about this law is when you keep yourself distant and you haven't shared a lot of information, it keeps you mysterious. People love mysterious things because it keeps them busy mentally. So if you keep yourself distant from people while you're working on yourself, people in the background in your life will already have thoughts about you and what you're doing. Is he doing this? Is he doing that? So they're going to want to crave you and reach out to you. Number 3, avoid burnout. Don't always say yes. Strategically stay absent lets you recharge and come back stronger. When you're doing law number 16, using absence to increase respect and honor, you avoid burnout because of the fact that you're constantly in this environment of talking to people in a routine, and you can get burnt out very quickly, especially if you have narcissistic people around you, people who are self-centered, people who want what's best from them. It can be really, really exhausting. And naturally, you might be a people pleaser. Naturally, you might be somebody that's confident, but being in these areas is really, really hard sometimes, and you can burn yourself out. At least for me, as an introvert, for an example, I don't like being in a lot of talk active conversation. I don't like being around people because it makes me feel some type of way. It makes me feel like I gotta close off. It makes me feel exhausted, especially if you go on rambling for hours. I'll fall asleep. I'll start getting dozy. It's just not my character. It's not me. So I have personal space to myself to avoid this burnout. And then obviously, when you have energy again, go back in, have that conversation, because at the end of the day, it's all about building confidence. Now we're going to get into the topic of school. I'm not going to edit this or anything like that, so it's just going to be raw cut. Don't always be available. Help friends and classmates, but set boundaries so your time is respected. But why do you want your time to be respected? Easy. You have goals to reach. If you don't have goals to reach, figure out the things that you like. But how do you figure out the things that you like? You stay in solitude and try everything that you've always wanted to try. Read 50 books every month? Go for it. Do it now. Do your first YouTube video? Go ahead. Do it now. Learn these skills early and remain distant from people. Don't always be available. You don't have to be always available. And if you are always available, cool. But you have to realize you're wasting personal time on yourself and you're wasting time that you should be spending with God. Whether that's praying, reading the Bible, etc., teaching other people about the Bible, that counts as devotion towards God. You can't devote towards God if you're constantly around people. And it's because of the fact that you have to be in solitude. You want to be able to listen to God's voice, read the word in a quiet environment, and be able to create your projects to teach others in quiet. You can't do this when there's so much noise around you, because judgment is going to have a big play, and people are going to criticize you and all this other stuff. So it's always good to not be too available. Number 2, choose quality over quantity. Show up when it counts for group projects, presentations, or class discussions. When you are making a project or a presentation, and this is the best way I can say it because I kind of do devotionals for young adults and stuff like this, so this is somewhere where I can relate to. Picking quantity over quality is the worst thing you can do, because you're not going to hit their hearts with the word of God and stuff like that, or any presentation that you do. If you're trying to be inspiring, you want to focus on the quality. What information does this have? Is this going to touch somebody's heart? If I was listening to this, would I be set off by this? And I do that. When I write my devotionals for the young adults, I make sure I rehearse and listen to myself speaking. Does this sound nice? Does this sound inspiring? You want to make sure that's of quality, not quantity, especially with friends. Number 3, be known for excellence, not presence. Let your results speak for you, not constant talking or trying to be noticed. Let your work speak. Like we were talking about in the last video, in the last law, you want to make sure that your results speak. You don't have to talk about anything at all in your life, whether if you have 10,000 views, whether if you have $10,000 saved. You don't have to brag about these things. Your actions will speak for themselves. At work. I wanted to do at work because I know people struggle at work environments a lot, especially me. Managers can be a little bit of a pain. Coworkers can be a little bit of annoyance. It's natural. It happens. It's life. So nothing but work. So let's go. Don't overextend. Be valuable, not overused. Learn to say no or delegate when needed. If you know something is not your job, don't be the person that is there for everything all the time. But why do you want to do this? You want to do this because it increases your value and it keeps people keeping you not in a cage, but in the idea in their head of saying, this guy is meant for this versus this guy can do everything. You never want to be noticed as a guy that does everything, but a guy that specializes in something. Why though? Because it gives people a face to skill image. If they just see a face and everything, they're most probably going to be like, oh, well, this guy doesn't really know how to do things. He just kind of does everything all at once and he's annoying and he's confusing and stuff like that. But if you just simplify your task for one of those things and you specialize in it, you're most probably going to be better at that one task versus aiming at 10,000 tasks and skills. Food for thought. Number 2, disappear to level up. Take time to learn a new skill or improve in a craft, then come back with more to offer. I can speak this on personal experience when it comes to mechanics. Why do I say this? Nothing's worse, at least I'm speaking for myself, nothing's worse than being an oil change guy for 10 years. You don't need to be the oil change guy for 10 years. 5 years is fine. 6 years is fine. But if you're in a constant idle state of doing the same task over and over again, when I mean the same task, it gets annoying and you'll never be special or an expert in that field. You will never be a master in that field. Focus on diversifying your skills. Focus on improving your craft. And you do this with the repetition over time, doing the same task, but not 10 years. 2 years, focus on doing your oil changes correctly. 2 years, focus on doing your brakes perfectly. 2 years, focus on being excellent at pulling transmissions and engines. And then over time, when you hit the 15-year mark, you're going to be a master in your field. Keep on studying, keep on learning new things in this world that's changing, and you'll be ahead than most people. Number 3, Let absence build demand. When you're not always around, people notice when you return and appreciate your input more. So in work, I think the best thing you can do is don't be so focused on being there all the time. You don't have to be there all the time. Focus on taking time off, whether if that's a mental health day or whether if that's a quick trip you want to take to a different state. For an example, I want to go to Vermont. I've never been to Vermont before, and I heard they have really nice sightings. So would you want to go and do that? Take time off, not solely because of the purpose of making your coworkers miss you, because that's dumb. Hey, I'm calling out because I want my coworkers to miss me. No, don't do that. Use this time off that you're giving, your sick time, your vacation time, to figure out what you truly like, especially in your younger ages, in your early 30s, in your early 20s, in your late 20s. You can never miss with this stuff. And that's the hack that I have for my life. If I have vacation time, use your vacation time. It's paid time that you can take a vacation. Your sick time, use your sick time up. Really try to figure out where you want to aim and shoot for. Here are some tips that Magic made for me. Step back to stand out. When you step back, you're going to be missed. And this is good, especially when it starts to develop new relationships. When you're dating somebody for a very, very long time and you're there for them all the time, it's good to be absent. It's healthy to do this as a guy or as a girl too, but don't be so extensive about it. You want to use this to your advantage to create romance again when a relationship is boring. And you can do this by leaving a sentence short spoken. You can do this by saying, oh, I'm focusing at work, which you should be focusing at work. So don't be spamming your girlfriend. Don't be spamming your boyfriend. And use this when you're doing stuff that you love. You don't have to text people all the time either while you're doing your craft. Like I am right now. I'm not going to be texting anybody. Number 2, be rare, not common. Again, having a personality that's unique. When you make videos, have an end credits of your little slogan, When you're doing art, make sure it stands out in your own way. Don't try to be a Picasso. Don't try to be a Da Vinci. Be Juan. Be John. And just focus on doing that. And that's how you become rare. Number 3, show up with value, not noise. You don't need to brag to anybody about your things like we were mentioning before, because people don't like braggers. Let your work speak for itself when you come in through that door. But how can it speak? It's a repetition of doing good work and again with integrity. And when you're noticed, that's where you're going to shine the most. That's going to be it for today's video. And that was law number 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. If you guys have any questions, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about this law. For me, so far, this is pretty all right. I'm not used to being absent in other people's lives. I'm usually the type of person that's on top of people, making sure that they're doing well and stuff. But maybe this might be something I try. That's going to be it for today's video. I love you guys. You already know. God loves you too. Peace out.